Welcome, your trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World. As always, believe it or not, it's not Apple today, it's Intel. And believe it or not, it's a short because somehow for the last, well, not somehow, for the last little bit, I've had a short bias on Intel. And I came with the honest truth, I was looking for longs on Intel today. And the reason for that, I'm just going to quickly show you the 60-minute chart here of Intel. They had earnings. I'm not going to be able to tell you it was a great report, but given how badly they were beaten up, there were enough positive signs that the relief was coming. Cutting their spending, I think that's a good thing. But it was more about this big channel that it had at 27 at the bottom. And you essentially had challenged the top end of this in a bit of a breakout already. So you had this break, 27, you had 27.6, and then this little peak high at 27.80. And I had all these grand notions when we're in the pre-market trading in the 27 range. Yeah, open's going to come in. I'll buy dips to this, but at the open, I'd like to be buying in this range for the breakout to the top side. Well, that's what my plan was, but I can show you. It's like right in around here, you're already opening right above that channel. Kind of missing out on that trade. And I'm kind of steamed at myself. I had a couple of other good ones to the long side. I mean, Boeing ends up working out. We'll talk about some of these during our live show. But once we got to 29, the market was so far gone, and this was so far up to the upside, you're going to tell me we're basically pushing that 10% up, when really one of the most positive lines for Intel in the earnings, I'm not making this up, one of the most positive lines was that revenue decline was slowing. So the rate of decline in revenues was slowing. So it was not a fantastic report overall. I knew there would probably be some profit takers, but I wasn't willing to jump in front of it. So I allowed it to break 29 even, put in this top, about 29 and a quarter, and then once I saw it beneath that 29, there were some stops that got ran. It's like, just jam in. I did scalp a bunch of it out because I ended up probably getting a few too many shares, and we're really a little bit farther away from that high. Like, this was the first test, and it's 25 cents above that 29 area. Now on Intel, the quarters are a big deal. Dollar move is huge on Intel. So the quarter's probably a little bit too far away to have had what I had. So I'm like, oh, just let's get some out, calm down a little bit, and if it glides back up, try and grab a few more shares and puts in that lower high, which is exactly what I was able to do. This time, because I've already taken a bunch out here and we're up, allow it to get back to that resistance. Nothing out in this range. This is why I think it's a bit of an evolution for me, because sometimes we shotgun these out as a day trader because you're in the money, but I'm not taking anything out till it gets back into that 80 range off the 29, so that I'm actually starting to get out again with that 20-cent winner. And then the next leg down, we take another couple legs out, 75. It does bounce 60s off of VWAP. I'm holding it the entire way up. I really thought when the market was testing 3,900 on the ES, that you would see another run at the high, so I miss out on this exactly 29 peak. But if I miss a re-entry on a trade, a lot of times it's like, okay, but the move has happened whether I got more shares here or not. So I have to treat it as if I did get that reload. And if I just put on more shares and wasn't just holding the last 15% anyways, what would I be doing? I'd be getting out again at that 75. I'd be putting bids again at that 28.60. So this is a case of a lot of things were haywire this morning. I didn't have a single Apple long, where it's easy to be frustrated about your day. The levels you wanted didn't come into play. You didn't get the longs you wanted. Be patient. Wait for something to set up. Intel has been a fantastic short on the way down, and then even today on the way up, there was a way to structure a short once it had gotten 10% to the upside. So, I wish I could say it was just buying Apple and closing my eyes and going long today, but it wasn't. It was finding Intel at the top and then managing to get some successful reloads, and patience on the way out as always. Patience is going to be key for your trading. And as always, the trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World.